TikTok, it's time to rock. Welcome to the channel, folks. Welcome to a special get-together here. I'm going to have on the channel a celebration of this album's 55th anniversary, released this day. Hold on. This album here, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs. Front cover, famous back cover. The inside gate of all the photos. Pretty cool album cover. I was always inspired by that cover. Where's the light? Yeah, that's better. And as I mentioned earlier this morning on an Instagram post and a Facebook post, this album has been a big part of our channel here. And I will attach links, I promise, in the description. I had some messages sent to me that I haven't been including the links to videos that we talk about in the description, so that's my bad. But I promise I will attach all the links to the videos, and there's a few on the channel in relation to Layla, and I will also put them up as cards for you if you're interested in what Simon and Brad and Carl and Michael, our dear friend Michael, has been on the channel talking about Clapton and Layla, and Jim as well. Jim did a album with us, and Hugh Caldwell as well has been on talking about this great band and the album. Quite simply, is a masterpiece, isn't it? Got Gretch. Yeah, g'day Gretch. Good to see you. And we've got Phil S. Norwich, a good friend from the UK. Dropped a comment not long after I put this stream up. So thanks, Phil. But yeah, it's a great album cover. Gretch was always blown away by the uniqueness of it. And the real gold too, I suppose, is the music, the double album. In the album, so I've been doing a bit of thinking about this album over the last 8 hours, and I went back and had a look through the chapter of Derek and the Dominoes and Eric's incredible biography. Hold on, I thought I had all that ready to go, but I've lost my... Okay. Bad. You're bad, Andrew. There's a couple of things I want to read from his biography. So just this biography here, Clapton, the autobiography. I've done a quick review on the channel, talking about this. Eric, we need an update. Update this biography, please, because this biography came out, gosh, 2007. So next year is 2027. So that's 20 years ago. Hey, Tony, good to see you. Fruitcake Tony, long time no see. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah. I hope you're doing well, Tony. That's this. So this biography next year will be 20 years old. Holy cow! Definitely needs an up. What do they call them? They don't call them. What do they call them? A revised edition. Definitely needs a revised edition because Clapton's done a lot in the 20 years since this came out. So Eric, when you're watching this, please talk to somebody about updating your biography. One of the great things about this biography, though, it's Clapton breaks it down to chapters of bands in his life, like John Mayall. I'll read the. Hold on, if you're not familiar with it. So the Yardbirds is a chapter. John Mayall is a chapter. Cream, Blind Faith is a chapter. Derek and the Dominoes is a chapter. The Lost Years, 461 Ocean Boulevard, blah blah blah. So it makes it quite easy if you want to go and do some quick reference or read about a particular episode or chapter in Clapton's life. While we're talking about anniversaries too, just bear with me for 1 second. But we need to celebrate this album too, released in November 1977. I think towards the end of November, around the 23rd, 24th or something like that. So we might do a quick little show talking about this as well, but I just want to remind you guys that there's a lot to celebrate. So like I said, guys, I don't want to bore you with too much, but there's a couple of things I want to read, if that's okay, from Clapton's biography and share with you. So this is a quote from Clapton's biography. I had a call from Carl Rattle telling me that Delaney and Bonnie and friends had disbanded and asking me whether I might be interested in doing something with him, Bobby Whitlock, and Jim Gordon. Having nothing else on, I said yes, and they had flown over to England and had come to live at Hurtwood. That's Clapton's mansion home, guys, if you're not familiar with that. It was the beginning of one of the most extraordinary periods of my life, the memory of which is dominated by one thing: incredible music. It began with me just talking to these guys about music and getting to know them. And then we just played and played and played. I was in absolute awe of these people, and yet they made me feel on the same level as them. We were kindred spirits, made in the same mold. To this day, I would say that Carl Rattle, the bass player, and drummer Jimmy Gordon are the most powerful rhythm section I have ever played with. They were absolutely brilliant. When people say that Jimmy Gordon is the greatest rock and roll drummer that ever lived, I think it's true, beyond anybody. Then Clapton goes on to say, all we did was jam and jam and jam. And night would become day and day would become night. And it was and felt good to me to stay that way. And it just felt good to me to stay that way. Read properly, Andrew. And then he ends this quote by saying, "I've never felt so musically free before." Hey, Helene, good to see you. You're right, Gretch, high praise. And then there's one more quote, folks, that I'd like to share with you, if that's okay. One night, our producer, Tommy Dowd, told me that the Allman Brothers band was playing at Coconut Grove and suggested that we all go down and see them. With their long, long hair and beards, the band looked amazing. And they were great musicians. I loved them. But what really blew me away was Dwayne Allman's guitar playing. I was mesmerized by him. He was very tall and thin with an air of complete conviction. And although he didn't sing, I felt sure he was the leader of the band just by his body language. Tom introduced us to the band after the show, and we invited them back to the studio for a jam, which resulted in me asking Dwayne to play on the sessions while they were in town. Dwayne and me became inseparable during this time. And between the two of us, we injected the substance into the Layla sessions that had seemed to have been missing so far. He was like the musical brother I never had, but wished I did. More than Jimmy, he was essentially a loner, while Dwayne was a family man, a brother. Unfortunately for me, he already had a family, but I loved it while it lasted. These kinds of experiences don't happen every day, and I knew enough by then to cherish what I could. So big part of Clapton's life, obviously, too. Producing the music and the people that formed the nucleus of this project. Wasn't that long ago, folks, we shared on the channel some thoughts between the hosts and I, our thoughts and experiences about the passing of Bobby Whitlock and his contribution to this band. And again, I'll always continue to say this, and forgive me for repeating myself, but I urge you to go and check out Bobby's channel, which is still up, and all the videos, especially if you're interested in the Derek and the Dominoes era, because Bobby's recollection and opinion and thoughts on that period can't be disqualified. And he also has a biography out too, which talks in detail about that period. And it just fills in more than just the gaps. You get a complete picture of this essential time of year, time of the career of these guys. So Missions got a comment. Eric said that Dwayne also wanted to play with Eric, not top him or show him some new licks or compete with him. No, you're right, and and Dwayne was never. I've read, like a lot of you guys too. We've probably read some of those biographies about Dwayne Allman. I got a couple here. This one here, Play All Night, which specifically talks about their live album. But this biography here has got a chapter called Skydog, the Dwayne Allman story by Andy Poe. It's the older biography. And it talks about from Dwayne Allman's perspective, the way that he contributed to that project, and he was never going to leave the Allman Brothers, ever. That's quite clear. So thanks, for joining us. This is just a quick video, folks. Quick show. Please leave some comments about this album, your thoughts about it. I think it's a masterpiece. The two double albums that are perfect in my mind are this album and Exile on Main Street. Can't go wrong, in my opinion, with those two albums. But I remember reading, I'll share one thought with you. I remember reading years ago an article, and the person that was writing the article said that if Clapton stopped his career after this album, we'd still be talking about this album. And you know what? He just about did, didn't he? Because he went into that phase, that drug phase for a couple of years. But thank God he managed to, with the help of good friends, pull himself out of it. So, yeah, I agree with you. Freak Tony. Dwayne Allman's very underrated. Still, live at Fillmore. Another incredible double album. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs. Is it a masterpiece? Is it a desert island album? It's in my top 3 albums, for sure, 100%. I'm going to go on record and say that. So thanks, Tony, for hanging out with us. God bless you, and keep well, Tony. Missionardi, good to see you again, bro. And Greg Zeppelin, our dear friend from Canada, thank you. And Helene, thanks for jumping in. You guys are incredible. And Phil, that first comment you left, brilliant. And if you are watching on a replay, please subscribe to our channel. And I'll subscribe back to your channel too. Cheers. Thanks for watching.